Hey there, Aquarius Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aquarius Rising. Welcome to your mid-July success reading. Lots of interesting things are happening. I'm actually recording this in about an hour and a half. We have the new moon in Cancer, and so we have this opportunity that is opening up to plant our seeds of intention for something that will take us through the end of the decade. So if you haven't checked out your new moon reading, you may want to. But you have here the energy of the merchant. And the merchant says opportunities to prosper are everywhere. Within a day or two, the North Node moves into Aries. And so, yes, new energy to really plant your seeds of intention. So if you watch my channel a lot, you know I have a couple of Aquarius kids, and it's interesting. They do find the opportunities in everything. So opportunities is just a matter of your approach, right? It's the way you look at something. It's your perspective. And everybody's perspective is their reality. So when we choose to look at everything as an opportunity, then that is exactly what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Let's get it. I love this so much. All right. So, this for you is a financial opportunity, but this financial opportunity is going to come not from thinking your way into it, but feeling your way into it. That new moon in Cancer energy. So this is about choosing to do something that you really love in order to create financial abundance and free. This is the first time. Oh my God, you're the sixth reading I've done, and it is the first time it looks like we're talking about money. So I thought that's what we were going to talk about today, but no. So here we go. Yours is definitely about finances. All right, let's get into it. Your overall energy, the King of Swords, the King of Winter. It says knowledge, experience, fair-minded, and unemotional. This is like the underlying energy of this. It says get advice from someone professional, objective, of public speaking, or unemotional relationships. Okay, opportunities are everywhere, but this is about getting out of your head and getting into your heart. This is about getting out of your head and getting into your heart, because the obstacle here is the Ace of Cups. It's finding the thing that fills you with joy. That's where the real opportunity is. There's lots of ways to make money doing things that we don't necessarily enjoy, that doesn't really satisfy us, and we can do it for a while, but eventually, it's exhausting, right? Eventually, it doesn't do it. It isn't what we really want. Now, sometimes making money in order to have time to do something that we really love, then it's worth it, right? So you have to decide, what are your priorities? What really matters to you? So it's really funny that this is the underlying and this is the obstacle, because it says open your heart to love. This is unemotional relationships. Open your heart to love. This is any kind of love. This is love in a relationship, but I really feel like this is doing the thing that you love. You can make money doing the thing that you love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one. The awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. But we have so many pentacles here, right? More than half of this is pentacles. There's half. There's 10 cards, 5 of them are pentacles. The key to the situation, we have another king. It's the King of Autumn, the King of Pentacles. This is the key. Be assertive when it comes to what you know is right. Everything going your way, and a good person or company to work for. You could be the good person in your person or company to work for, or you are seeking that, right? The key to the situation is finding the right fit. What feels right, because in the area of resources, you have the Nine of Cups. This is an emotional connection to the work. It's wishes coming true, dreams fulfilled, and a magical time of life. In the energy of your resources. Resources is your emotional energy, your physical energy, your mental energy, spiritual, your financial energy. It's all right here. And this is about making your dreams come true in the energy of resources. And so focusing on that will help you to find the way through this. So 9. We have another 9 here. 2 9s. So you're nearing the end of the cycle of whatever it is. Oh, you have the card of victory. Goodness, I love your reading. Okay, so what are you looking for? 9 of Autumn, 9 of Pentacles. That is financial security and independence. This is you got it under control, right? So reward yourself for all your hard work, being happily and successfully self-employed, and cherishing your time alone. So for those of you who want to be the good company to work for, even if it's just all by yourself. This is something you're definitely thinking about, but you need to think about it with the mindset of the boss, not the employee, right? So, be the boss you wanted to work for. Be the boss that you wanted to work for. Don't let your ego get in the way. We have the card of the Devil, the ego card here, in what's draining your energy. So the lesson of all the major arcanas are really about the lessons. What are you supposed to learn? And the Devil card is about understanding that we are only chained and held in place by that which we feel we need, but not necessarily by what we need. So if we feel we need everybody's approval, that'll hold us in place. If we feel, so those chains around the necks of those people in the Rider-Waite, they could lift their way out of them. It's as easy to get out of as the Eight of Swords. Just walk away. You can set yourself free. But they choose to remain bound because their ego won't allow them to see that there's another way. But you're Aquarius. You see the other way all the time. Don't let your ego get in the way. This says here, ooh, they're burning up guilt. That's cool. The illusion of being trapped, placing too much importance on material items and getting caught up in fear and worry. Being your own boss of your life, not necessarily the job, although I gotta say, this looks like a reading for someone who is entrepreneurial and really wants to get going on something. Again, not your reading, check out Sun, Moon, and Rising, right? Like your reading may be in another space this time. You have the card of, not letting others get in your way, and you transform the situation by finding the balance. The Six of Autumn. The good you do comes back to you, an unexpected inflow of money, and borrowing wisely and repaying a debt. Being a good steward of your resources is how you change the situation. Being a good steward of your resources, borrowing and repaying. So this is also balancing energetically. Okay. So I was going through a divorce. I couldn't afford a lawyer. I found a paralegal. I had my own business. I sold candles. She worked for the candles. She literally said, I just want product. So energetic exchange was even. She was using her wisdom and knowledge, filled out some papers for me because I'm dyslexic and I couldn't do it. And I didn't have to get a lawyer. And she didn't have to spend money on the candles, right? So there are ways to balance out things by doing. So she did. So I had a physical product and she had knowledge. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, can you figure out a way to balance and use your resources wisely? And resources are not just your money, but your knowledge, your wisdom. It's the showing up. And if that doesn't seem like a thing, another thing you could do is giving your time to volunteer doing something that's important to you, right? Like you find value in what you're volunteering to do, but you're putting energy out into the universe, which allows you to then be able to receive energy. When we're like the Four of Pentacles and we're holding tight, we're not opening up, and you do have the Four of Pentacles showing up here in the heart space. And so this is really about opening up the energetic flow and creating more of a balance here by putting stuff out in order to be open to receiving. And this is managing your resources wisely. And this is also about managing your resources wisely. And the King of Autumn, the key to the situation, is manage your resources wisely. And your resources are not just financial. They're your emotional energy. And there's enough of it here that says you've got to, if you want to be in a loving relationship, you have to take some of those walls down and open up some space to let somebody in. You have to be able to give and take. Maybe you were hurt in the past. You're like, I'm never going to let anybody do that crap to me again. And you build up all these walls. Well, then it's really hard to have an emotional connection with somebody because you're afraid of being hurt again. So don't let fear run you. Don't let guilt run you. Find a way to open up. It feels like, so I grew up on a river that had a series of dams. I think there's like 5 of them. And so they have to regulate how much water they let through the channel to keep everything from being flooded around it and to provide enough water resources for the areas that it serves without it all just dumping out into the Great Lake, right? And so there was this managing of the resources so that it doesn't build up and flood over too much and create disaster, but there's enough to supply what needs to be supplied, and that all the way downstream there's enough, right? And so that is really good resource management, and that feels like that kind of thing. Like there's this flow, this influx of opportunity. You're trying to figure out how to be independent and self-sufficient and have all your wishes and dreams come true. This is up in your thoughts. You're thinking about being, having your wishes and your dreams come true, having, this independence financially and everything. And in the heart space, you have to be willing to release yourself from the guilt and what's holding you. You need to boss up for yourself, and you need to open up the channel to give and receive in balance, to bring this in, to get what you want. So in the center of your thing here, look, this is interesting. You have 2 9s across the top, and going down the center, you have 2 6s. And 6s are about the balance, and this is about the independence and nearing completion. But both the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups are great cards to complete, right? It's not like the 10 of Swords where you're mentally worn out and that's it and you're done. And it's not the 10 of Wands where you're overburdened. No, these are the good ones you're moving toward. And so there's a lot happening here that is very positive and moving for you. And with the 6 of Wands here, the success, wonderful news on the way, smart choices that bring rewards and success and public recognition. Right? You just had Saturn go through your sign. And Saturn's in retrograde right now, but he's not going to retrograde back into your sign. So you were supposed to take those lessons already, right? Those lessons of understanding that the energy and the effort you put in creates the result. And so if you want to have an emotionally satisfying relationship, you got to put emotional energy in. If you want to have a financially successful result, you have to put in the energy of knowledge, wisdom, and work, right? You got to prime the pump. It doesn't come up on its own. So, whoo. Oh my God. All right, this is overflow, and it's got water pouring out of dams into a river. That's so fun. It's called Overwhelm and Plenty. It's managing your resources so that you don't flood and you have enough to grow. Oh my God, we have time to replenish the empty well. So there is a need for you to give back and to be open to receiving, to creating this balance in your life in order to bring in this success. Balance is required. The energy you put out to get the energy back, but the energy doesn't necessarily be the same thing, right? It is not the same thing. When you go to a job, you put in work, you get back financial. It's not, they don't give you back more work. Well, not in a good relationship. So you're going to have to figure out how this works. You have this clarity and organization card, a tidy house. A tidy house. Where do you need to reorganize things to make things flow really well? Because your card to anchor into is the Ace of Pentacles. It is this new idea. It is the seed of intention that you're planting now that was going to require your nurturing. But in order to do all this, you're going to have to create the correct environment. She's got grapes here, and grapes require very specific soil and light and moisture control. This is very specific way to bring in the abundance of the harvest that you want. And you're getting ready to plant the seed of intention right now. And so creating the right amount and the right resources, the right fertile ground for it, but there's opportunities everywhere to grow something. A windfall of money, advice, or assistance from others. So what is it that you need to bring in? A very successful project and a happy change in your career. So there's a need to where you've been holding back your energy, to let some of it out in order to fill up this empty well, in order to create this balance, in order to bring in whatever this is that you're trying to be successful in, whether it is a career thing or an emotional relationship or a career that brings emotional satisfaction. You have the card of change. A change of residence, a partner, or a career job is on the cards. You're restless and in the need of change, and that is exactly what is coming your way. Uranus rules your sign, co-rules it with Saturn, and it's in Taurus, which is definitely squaring your sign, making you feel itchy, wanting to make this change, stationing retrograde very soon. I know I just looked this up for you guys, but I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I'm in channel, can't remember crap anyway. Uranus stations retrograde very shortly. Where is that? August 29th. And so it's in shadow right now. So all the stuff that you're thinking about right now and the changes you want to make, you're going to get to revisit this and try to create this balance and this flow. So it stations retrograde at 23 degrees, and it is going to retrograde all the way through the end of the year. So I'm not really sure where the shadow started at. Probably around 17, maybe back to 15 degrees, I think. So you're going to be doing a lot of reviewing of stuff that has happened since, I want to say, that eclipse. So that eclipse in Taurus, right around the middle of, where was that? That was like the middle of June, May. And so so whatever you've been thinking about over the last few months, you're going to have a chance to go back over it and go over it again. This change is happening. It's hard when you're a fixed sign to like jump into the change, but I think you look really motivated here. You got 2 aces and 2 sixes. This wanting this balance. In the area of action, you have the aces, the new beginning. I love that. You have attracting, not chasing. You attract it. The energy you put out will draw and attract the like energy back to you, right? You don't have to chase it. It's going to come to you. But it's by this right here, this underlying ego and fear energy of not being good enough, not having enough, not being worthy of it. That chases it away. In order to attract it, this is about being confident, but also by putting energy out into the universe so that it can come back to you. You opening up the flow, right? There needs to be a flow of energy here. So right now, take some time. Venus is turning retrograde in your opposing sign of Leo. That's partnership. That's also heart management, resources. So it's a time to disconnect from the outer world so that you can discern and process your true thoughts and feelings from the inner world. There's a need to step back a little, to pull your energy in. 9 of Autumn, right? It said the same thing, cherishing your alone time. Right now is an opportunity when the moon is new. Every month, whenever there's a new moon, a couple of days before and after it, we all are supposed to pull our energy in, and it's a chance for us to really think about what do we want to do next? What do we want to create and manifest next? So create the quiet time for yourself, and you'll have more clarity in order to reorganize, to figure out, to start moving things forward. So you can attract anything into your life you want by putting out gratitude, by believing that you are in an abundance. An abundance mindset means you have more than enough and there's more on the way. And giving where you have a lot. You know, if you have a lot of skills, offering those to somebody else, and then knowing that what you need, somebody else has it, and it's going to come back to you, and it may not be the exact same person that brings it back. The universe will keep things in balance. But when we hold tightly, when we cling tightly, and we refuse to give of our abundance, then it backs up, it overflows, you become overwhelmed, and it destabilizes. Instead of creating stability, it destabilizes. It's too much of a good thing. So put some energy out there so you can get back what you want. Really like your reading. All right, Aquarius, you guys have a great rest of the week here. I will be back next week. I am on Facebook every day, though, if you want to get into the astrology of what's going on. I am doing personal readings. That the books are open, so if you want information is in the description box below. And I do want to thank you guys for showing up, for subscribing and liking and sharing your stories with me. It really, I like community. That's why I do these things. I, like you, have gifts that need to be shared, and so that's what I do here. All right, you guys take good care. We'll talk to you again soon.